Florence Nightingale at Home is much more than a traditional biography. In it, we really hope to explore metaphors of home, but also the physical homes that Nightingale inhabited throughout her life. She spent a lot of time in her home, especially after Nightingale came home from the Crimea in 1856. A lot of the time, she was virtually housebound through what we now think was probably brucellosis. During that time, though, she was a prodigious worker, and it was during this period that she did some of her most enduring reform work, and she certainly never stopped working from home.
One of the ways that we explored home was looking at the importance that Nightingale put on staying healthy at home. That was something that ran throughout her life. When she was a young girl and a teenager, she was exposed to some very dirty, unhealthy homes in the family estate that she lived. So she used to go and visit the poor around her and really noticed and wrote letters and diaries about how challenging those homes were. That almost inspired and motivated a lot of her later work in public health. So Nightingale was really at the forefront of thinking about how important the home was for preventing disease. So this was a really forward-thinking idea. It was all about home, all about educating and inspiring, particularly women around Britain, to know and to have knowledge about how to keep their homes in a place which would prevent disease for them and for the family.
The 19th century culture idealised the home, but upper-class women and early feminists often experienced that as a bit of a trap because they couldn't go out into the world to do work. That's what Nightingale wanted to do. But then when she found herself involved in healthcare institutions like hospitals, she was also trying to import that idea of domesticity and create home-like institutions. So we kind of explored the interplay between those two things, that home as a trap, but home as a site of health and a place where you can actually work as well.
Human care is incredibly important, as everybody knows, and nurses do the things that other people can't do. Florence Nightingale was an exemplar in that. She will remain an exemplar, and I hope our book does her credit.
Nightingale still captures imaginations because she was so exceptional as a Victorian woman of her time. Apart from Queen Victoria herself, it was rare that women were so publicly celebrated, and Nightingale really was. When she came back from the Crimea, she was featured in the news. She was very much a prominent figure. We came to understand how purposeful and directional she was in terms of making sure that when she needed to gain influence politically, her name was out there and she could use it as a means of enabling social change.
She can be classed in this sort of early feminist tradition. What she was trying to do was to create nursing as a female-led profession with female-dominated hierarchies, independent of male doctors, essentially, where women can take leading roles. And that's really unusual for the 19th century. Women were excluded from the professions in the 19th century.
Some of her public health campaigns, when she really wanted to communicate with people, make an impact, she was very, very clever in terms of drawing on that kind of wider kind of cultural language, which was coming from literature, coming from novels and fiction, as really the kind of iconic form of that time. Her dogged persistence and determination to see the way that she worked on campaigns and things which were important to her day in, day out, and managed to bring in all kinds of people, important, influential people, to help her with these causes is quite admirable.
There isn't actually much academic work about her. There's a few biographies, all of which were written by amateurs in the sense they're not professional historians. So we were able to bring a little bit of kind of critical context as practicing academics to put Nightingale in a scholarly historical context in a way that hasn't really been done actually in the biographies that are out there.
As a team, we wanted to work on different aspects of home from the perspective of Florence Nightingale and really push the boundaries for Nightingale research. I think we've delivered the extra oomph that your public vote has shown. It's wonderful to win Best Achievement in this year's The People's Book Prize.
Thank you. Thank you.